Okay, so let's see. The new survivor here is Yun-Jin Lee, a self-interested music producer able to advance her goals during turbulent times. Her personal perks Fast Track, Smash Hit, and Self-Preservation allow her to improve her abilities when others are harmed and quickly escape from a chase. So let's look at her perks. So she's got Fast Track. Sometimes the sacrifice of others is necessary to get ahead. Whenever another survivor is hooked, you gain 1 token. You consume all tokens after a great skill check on a generator. Each token consumed gains 1% bonus progression for skill checks when repairing generators, which is pretty cool. And this version of it that we're seeing right here is like the base version. So that 1 token is probably going to increase. The 1% is probably also going to increase as you get the higher versions of this. But that's pretty cool because it basically means anytime somebody is hooked, the moment you go over to a generator and you get a great skill check, it's just going to immediately add on that many tokens or that much percentage of repairing a generator, which is pretty awesome. Right, this other one, Smash Hit. When your rival makes a mistake, you seize the opportunity. After slaying the killer with a pallet, break into a sprint at 150% your normal running speed for 3 seconds, causes the exhausted status effect for 60 seconds. This perk cannot be used while exhausted. So this is pretty cool. This is like a different version of Lithe, where Lithe you have to jump over a window and then you kind of get a sprint. This one is the moment you stun the killer with a pallet, you get a sprint. So that's kind of a nice little change, and I'm sure people are going to be using that. It's a little harder to use because it requires a really specific situation where the killer is within pallet range. It's not like the window where they're all over the place and you can just choose them relatively freely. But this is a neat little option. And then self-preservation. Life's unforgiving. The more confirmation you get of that, the more prepared you become. Whenever another survivor within 12 meters of you gets hit by a basic attack or special attack, self-preservation activates. Your scratch marks are hidden for 6 seconds. That's pretty cool, actually. So if you're like somebody who's, I don't know, working on a generator with somebody else and he goes for the one person, if you're within 12 meters of that person when they get hit, then you're sort of in the clear for 6 seconds and they'll probably not turn around and chase after you. So that's pretty sweet. And then her backstory is here too. I won't read this entire thing, but I know that she's a producer in Korea, and that's basically how she got her start. So I'm gonna go back out of here. Look at this. This screen is really cool. This like Korea little city with the lights. All right, I'm gonna go back in as a killer because this is what I am crazy excited about. Is this guy? No, not the Death Singer. The Trickster. The Trickster. Man, that is cool. A ranged killer able to quickly unleash a flurry of blades by using his power Showstopper. His personal perks Starstruck, Hex Crowd Control, and No Way Out allow him to quickly down would-be rescuers and block areas of the environment to his advantage. So I was reading up on this guy a little bit earlier, and this is pretty intense. His perks are pretty awesome. So, his first one, Starstruck. Your unmatched showmanship dazzles all. Starstruck activates when you are carrying a survivor. Survivors within your terror radius suffer from the exposed status effect for 20 seconds. So that's just if he picks somebody up and you're too close, you're going to get exposed. And then the Starstruck cools down for 90 seconds once a survivor is no longer carried. Next is Hex Crowd Control, and this is intense too. A hex that ensures those lesser than you are properly herded. The entity blocks a window for 10 seconds after a survivor performs a rushed vault through it. The hex effects persist as long as the related hex totem is standing. So essentially, as long as that hex is active, anytime you jump through a window, it's going to be blocked for 10 seconds. So this is going to effectively cancel out loops. So if you have, let's say in Coldwind Farm, a loop where you have to jump through a window and then you circle around and jump through another window and you're able to keep the killer busy between those two windows, you won't be able to do it anymore because both of those windows are going to be covered the moment you jump through them with a rushed vault, which is so crazy. That is going to be, I think, a deal breaker, and that's going to be essential to destroy for the survivors. And then the last one is No Way Out. You're not going to let just anyone into the VIP room. Each time you hook a unique survivor, No Way Out gains a token. When the last generator is repaired, The entity blocks both exit gate switches for 8 seconds for each token in your possession. This is insane. So this means if you manage to hook all 4 unique survivors, you get 4 tokens, then that gate switch is going to be blocked for 32 seconds, both of them. So the killer is basically just going to have a super easy way to chase these people down. If he wants to, he can camp and wait it out, or he can use the opportunity to have extra time to get the survivors because they have nowhere to go. So unless you have a key to get into the hatch, this is going to be kind of a pain in the ass. And because this is the base version, that 8 seconds is absolutely going to increase. I wouldn't be surprised if it just goes 8, 9, 10 seconds for a solid, 32, 36, 40 seconds. But I think that's going to be so crazy. I think it's going to be so cool.